and then a lot of stickiness as well, all around this stuff. And I said to him, the reason why I never worry about when there's a stickiness and this what we call the contraction, when that is happening for me with anything, I know that it's because something is coming. And this happens time and time again. Like I guess when there is a growth, it's like growing pains, isn't it? When there's a growth coming,
Yep.
you go through this like sticky,
Mm.
but usually when that happens, we feel like, oh my God, our world is coming down and just, I'm stressed or whatever it is. And sometimes some of us can stay there or even sink
Mm.
more into it. Or you could do what you've just explained now to see it actually as it's a growth period. It's like you're about to emerge into something else, isn't it? I
Yeah,
find that very magical.
I do as well. And for me, it's, I've talked about this for years, and this whole place of contraction is like learning to get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
This is kind of like where acceptance comes in. It's really, really important. And also, it does tie in with sort of detachment and surrender and letting go as well. It's like we cannot control everything.
Yeah.
Our thoughts create our reality. We know that.
Yeah, absolutely. I love how you build your communities. Yeah. The community around you, your online community, especially like how, say, you built Global Winning Women and then letting that go, like building something and then empowering people with it. Because with most of us, like if you build something for so many years, I mean, I remember myself like with my first business and when I had to let it go because, relationship breakup with my ex, letting that go, letting that business go. I thought, oh my God, that business was my baby. It was all I'd known for so many years, and it was so difficult to detach and let that go. Obviously, when I did it and I finally let go, it was like, dropping such a huge load off my shoulders. So I love like the way you build something, but then into something beautiful and brought all this like um, thousands of women together, and then consciously to go, actually, you know what? I've done my bit here. I'm about to start a new journey and letting that go and doing it in a way that is going to continue to empower people. I absolutely love that. So let's talk about detachment and how this is related to what we're talking about and how you do it.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it because you make it sound really easy, okay? It was really, really hard. And, it's just like, I think about it as like, Global Winning Women was like my baby. I birthed that. I was the creator, the founder. And I nurtured it. I allowed it to grow significantly. At one point there were, there were 12 groups around the country. But it got to a point where it needed to go for various reasons, lots of different reasons. And I looked at it almost like it was my child that had matured and it was able to just do its own thing, go out there and do its own thing. And, it hasn't died completely. And I know that there are still parts of the mission and the vision that are still carrying on. It's just that they have transmuted. They look very, very different now. So, but it wasn't easy. And, this is my lifelong lesson, really, is practicing this whole art of non-attachment. But I think, the more that you practice it, the easier it becomes. And it depends also on the situation, so I got really curious about becoming less attached to things and possessions, material things. And this was really my starting place because it felt safe. Because I think, in life we need a certain amount of certainty. So this was an area where I felt quite safe. So it started very much with, how would it feel if I just let go of some books how would it feel if I just let go of some old clothes, you know? So this is really kind of like where it started. And it's been a practice. And then I've started looking at friendships, relationships. Are these people serving me? And boundaries, all sorts of things comes into this as well. You know, where am I leaking my energy to other people? Because, you know, one of the things that I typically, you know, I'm a great supporter of other people, bring community together a lot. But when in my desire to support and care for, quite often what was happening was I was coming out of my inner power because I was giving too much energy to other people. And, you know, this is actually key, and I think it needs to be said, is that, you know, we do need to look after ourselves first. And I wasn't so great at that because I was just looking after everybody else. And this is one of the reasons that, you know, I built Winning Women to a certain degree, and it just got too much for me to hold, you know. It was overwhelming. It became hard work. I lost the joy, and the passion was still there, but it felt onerous, you know. It wasn't graceful anymore. It wasn't so joyful. So that's kind of like, I knew the logical reasons why it needed to go, which helped make it easier for me.
Okay, why do we have to detach?
Why do we? I think acceptance is everything. You know, we just need to accept where we're at. I think when we become attached, we have this tendency to want to control everything. And if we look to nature, which I always look to nature, nature isn't forcing things. You know, a flower will, and we've used this analogy already in this call, but a flower will open and blossom when it's ready. A bud, you know, on a tree will do exactly the same. There's no one bud saying to the next bud, hey, come on, it's time to flower. You need to open right now. It will just, it's a process that just happens very, very naturally. And I think, you know, life isn't meant to be controlled. It's happening for us and through us all the time.
Yeah. But, you know, so especially when you run a business, we have this mindset that we need to set goals, and you have to be so focused on that goal that you've set, or, you know, your target and stuff like that, because that's what keeps you focused. So, and I'm sure I speak for a lot of people here that have like targets and they have goals and they're driven by those goals. How does detachment come into this?
Great question.
I dropped you in there then.
But I think it's a really good thing to start exploring. You know, I remember the time, you know, the days where we just like had all these KPIs, and it was just like, got to make my targets, got to meet my targets. So one of the reasons why I've kind of stepped away from being so attached to those things is because it's not the be all and the end all. It kind of is what it is. And no matter how I try, yes, I may hit my KPIs, or maybe I don't hit them. Does it really, really matter? To some people, yes, it may do. And this might sound a little bit wishy-washy. But what I found more than anything, it took away the joy. And isn't joy our birthright? Aren't we supposed to enjoy this experience of being here on this planet at this time?
Yeah.
You know, we can become so caught up in achievement, success, whatever that might look like to you. And I mean, I'm more about wanting to have the sensation of feeling fulfilled rather than external success, what looks successful to other people. I think we are sharing our message, we are all making an impact, you know.